Yeah, it's definitely the biggest piece of news that's come out so far. Like, what move today impacted the most? How many games a team is going to win? It's this one. It's not even close, and it's more impactful than like Russell Wilson and Mac Jones, and I guess Baker Mayfield could be impactful because like they could start somebody really bad instead of him. But this is the one where when win totals come out in a couple weeks and division odds come, I think division odds are out in a bunch of places, but like when the NFC South opens. I mean, honestly, like this move changes definitely like who definitely the favorite is going to be. It's going to be this team. And it could have been a few different teams and they could have had pretty even prices. New Orleans, Tampa, and Carolina probably in fourth place. But like this is the only move so far where, especially from a betting standpoint, hashtag the betting standpoint, you just look and you go, man, like Atlanta was going to be a this. And now they have to be a this. And if you're not watching, my hand is going up much higher than it was before because it's not Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke playing quarterback anymore. And the coach is different. And you can be like, well, like it's Raheem Morris. Like, is that going to be, it's something new, which I think is just it's not the most important thing, but it's part of it. So yeah, this is literally so far probably the only signing where you go, well, the team was going to, even if you want to do win total, it's probably a good way to do it. This is the only one where like it was going to be a blank. And now it's going to be a blank. Like it's actually like changes the market that you're going to be betting into. It's a quarterback move. That's obviously a big part of it, but it's not just any quarterback move. It's, a guy who's in the upper half of the league and has some potential to be more than that. And he's going to a division and a conference where the ceiling, at least in terms of regular season wins, the ceiling is very high in the NFC. If you want to be maybe not the one seed, maybe San Francisco is going to do that again. But if it's not them, and you're looking for another team, everyone's going to flock to Green Bay, and I think like justifiably so, and they added Josh Jacobs today, but like they're going to flock to Green Bay or Dallas or Detroit, maybe the Eagles with Saquon, but it's kind of wide. That second spot's wide open, and maybe Atlanta has a chance to kind of be that second team that gets referenced next to Detroit, maybe slightly behind them in the pecking order in the NFC.
When thinking about the Falcons, they were bad enough last year. They have the 8th overall pick in the draft. And now, like, they're not going to take a quarterback with that pick because they have Kirk Cousins. So now maybe that's Dallas Turner. Maybe that's another pass rusher, like another impact defensive player potentially. I do think the Falcons are more likely, Ken, than this price to win the division right now. I think they're definitely the best team in the division last year. They just had Arthur Smith and Desmond Ridder. The team is really good. Their upside, I think, is to win like 11 or 12 games and like win the division maybe by multiple games. So I do think that Atlanta is a little bit more likely than this price to win the division, just to answer that question. I just want to reiterate something that we talked about a lot throughout the course of the NFL season as it regarded the Atlanta Falcons. They had a head coach who actively decided to not give the ball to the best players on offense. Like, oh, Bijan Robinson is really good. Here's Tyler Algier and Cordarrelle Patterson. Oh, you like Drake London? Here's Mac Hollins. Kyle Pitts? Here's Jonnu Smith instead. Now, you've got a coaching staff that you would think will do the opposite. Because I'm guessing if they don't, Arthur Blank will fire them all after the first week of the season because we've just seen it happen. I think it's a great day for the Giants. I hate to say this. I guess, we say this about any fan base. There are a lot of, really stupid Giant fans. Like, really, really, say that about really
every fan
dumb.
Base. Every fan base.
Just, dumb. I'm not even, as a fan, I've been really stupid before and, will be stupid in the future.
Stupid all the time. I used to be even dumber than I am right now.
This is not like, hey, holier than thou, I'm smart, everyone else is dumb. But about this particular topic, I have been right from day one. And day one was 2018 before the NFL draft when that idiot Dave Gettleman was going to take a running back second overall and proclaim that he was touched by the hand of God and he was going to be fitted for a gold jacket. I am drafting a Hall of Famer basically with a second overall pick. Obviously, I think it's proven to be, even though some people will still say, well, it was why wouldn't you want to take him? He's a great player. I think it's been proven. The use of that asset second overall pick on a running back was bad, right? Can we all admit it now that this was a terrible pick that the Giants made? And people will say, oh, well, who did you want them to take? Sam Darnold? Quentin Nelson would have been a great pick. Who cares if they took Sam Darnold? Anyone but a running back. It was a bad use of assets, a terrible use of that asset to take a running back second overall. I think it's one of the worst moves in the history of the New York Football Giants. And it was obvious from the moment it happened that it was going to be an absolute disaster. Saquon could have been Barry Sanders, and it was still a terrible pick. And by the way, Saquon Barkley isn't Barry Sanders. This is a great day for the Giants. The Giants lost 1 million games with Saquon Barkley. They can lose 1 million games without him. That's it. People forget George Young, Hall of Fame general manager for the Giants, had that quote in the 80s, I believe, about linebacker Brad Van Pelt. Oh, you want this huge free agent deal? We won 2 games with you. We can win 2 games without you. Like, do Giants fans think that now, like, oh my God, we lost Saquon Barkley. Now we won't win 6 games next year? This team was terrible. They've been terrible almost the entire time he was there. What are we losing by him leaving? And the Eagles overpaid for him. This is a team that usually makes shrewd moves, and I think it's a terrible signing by Howie Roseman. Doesn't mean the player can't be good, but look at last year. Buying DeAndre Swift for a ham sandwich, he looks awesome. The Bears overpaid him today. Like, Kenny Gainwell's been great for this team. Like, late round pick. You don't need to pay running backs this much money. It's a terrible signing, but it's a great day for the Giants. I think their rival made a bad move in the Eagles, and you get to put the Dave Gettleman era a little bit more in the rearview mirror. And I'll wrap up the Giants conversation with this. The thing, if you're a Giants fan, I know like a lot of Giants fans will look to me for my opinion on this stuff. The thing that's been the most alarming that's happened this offseason, if you're a Giants fan, is not even close to the Saquon Barkley signing. Who cares that Saquon Barkley signed with the Eagles? Good. Let him go to Philadelphia. Who cares? To me, the thing that's the most alarming was that the Giants hosted Russell Wilson for a free agent visit. Now, he ultimately signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but like now, I think the Giants have kind of put it out there and are telegraphing that they are not going to take a quarterback with the 6th overall pick in the draft or trade up to get a rookie starting quarterback, not to trade up in the top 3. And a lot of Giants beat reporters are saying the Giants will add a veteran free agent quarterback, which I think means that Joe Shane and Brian Dable believe that they can win this year with this roster. And like, okay, if Daniel Jones is ineffective or if he's not healthy, well, we'll start Russell Wilson or Jacoby Brissett or like insert veteran starting quarterback here and draft like Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze with the 6th overall pick, and we'll cook with gas and we'll be ready to contend this year. To which I say this: the Giants will have a new head coach and general manager next year. So I want people to remember that I'm saying this right now on Monday, March 11th, 2024, that when Joe Shane and Brian Dable get fired after this season because they rolled into the year with Daniel Jones and some curtain-jerking jabroni, other free agent quarterback, like, they ain't winning next year. It ain't happening. You need to reset the clock and get a rookie quarterback who can one day stand toe-to-toe with Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and Love and the great quarterbacks in the National Football League. Not saying Love's at that level, but you want someone that you feel like could stand toe-to-toe with Jordan Love when it comes down to it. Let's go to the Big East next. This is another one where I'd like for someone to make the case for a school other than UConn, Creighton, or Marquette. UConn is a huge favorite to win the tournament. Connecticut, obviously, the 1 seed in the tournament, minus 165. Creighton is the 2 seed, plus 375. Marquette, I bet them on Saturday against Xavier, which was really touch and go until the very end. Marquette pulled away at the end. Marquette plus 650. Villanova is at 12-1. Spotted Creighton like a 40-point lead early in that game on Saturday. Almost came all the way back to win or even cover the spread. Creighton eking out a win on the road. Rick Pitino and St. John's at 14. And then we'll draw a line and we go to like Seton Hall with Shaheen Holloway at 40. So the one piece of injury news that really has got to be figured out here is Tyler Kolek going to be cleared for the Big East tournament for Marquette. When Marquette put the original press release out after Kolek injured his oblique, it was always like out for the rest of the regular season. We'll provide another update prior to the conference tournament. So we'll get it at some point here, probably in the next 24 hours. If he doesn't play, I would never bet Marquette to win the tournament. I think they need him, obviously, to win maybe they could beat Creighton without him. Probably not. But I think they need Kolek. If Kolek plays, I'll bet Marquette to win this tournament at plus 650 if he's going to play. If not, I think we get a UConn-Creighton final and UConn wins. The end. Ken, any bets for you in the Big East tournament?
It's tough. St. John's making a little run there, you know? Rick Pitino.
If
Big
they'd
East
have to
Magic.
play UConn, Like, if they were on the other side of the bracket, you
joking.
could maybe make a case.
Yeah, I'm very joking. But, like, I win a couple games, whatever. Bart Torvik, conference rank, entering the conference tournament, team that won the Big East tournament. Now, this tournament structure has shifted a little bit, obviously. Teams gone out, come in, excluding the 2 COVID years. Third, first, fourth, first. Last few years. Get the idea. Again, take your long shot flyers. I'm sure it's really fun. Doesn't mean the teams can't win. Just like, I don't know why you'd bet it. This tournament, no different. The problem with the Marquette thing that you mentioned too, by the way, like I know what you mean when you say you'd bet Marquette if Kolek was going to play. Like, you're going to have to rush to bet that. Like, that news comes out, they're not going to be 650 anymore. Like, they're not going to be 6-1. Like, he's their best player. They play their price and Creighton's price probably become really similar when that happens. I don't know exactly when to bet this. Like, am I trying to rush to bet Marquette if Kolek's in? Maybe not. I think Creighton's price, no matter what, is pretty interesting. So, like, here's a team that, like, can play with UConn probably. For how long is the question. It's just like, if it's like, I don't want to bet UConn. Do I want to bet Creighton or do I want to not bet the tournament? It's like probably what it is. I totally agree with your analysis of beyond those 3 teams. Would I bet anyone else? The answer to that is definitely no.
I do wish St. John's were on the other side of the bracket, and I think you could have maybe made a case for St. John's making a run. I will say the individual game matchup of St. John's and Seton Hall is fascinating. St. John's will be favored in the game probably, right? I don't know, what, like 6 or something like that.
Yeah. St.
John's blew that second half lead to Seton Hall, like 3 weeks ago? And that Tyler says that Ken Palm has 4 for St. John's Seton Hall. I like St. John's a little bit at that price. St. John's blew that lead to Seton Hall, which prompted the Rick Pitino insane press conference.
Yeah,
where he blasted the team, and then they've nuked everyone in every game since then. So this is like the St. John's revenge game here against Seton Hall for blowing that lead. Also, we missed an opportunity to bet Georgetown on Saturday against St. John's. Like St. John's Mania, that was a 20.5 point spread. I think we missed that.
And what did the game land?
7.
Oh, I didn't watch a lot of sports on Saturday. We had full kid mode on Saturday.
The game, and I was like, damn, probably should have bet Georgetown anyway. So we're sharing a brain here. Like UConn, Creighton. If Kolek doesn't play, if Kolek does play, I can make a case for Marquette. I'd like to bet Marquette.
UConn is just minus 150. You bet minus 150 for them to win 3 games. Like, maybe.
No. If Kolek plays, I'll bet Marquette against Creighton, and I'll bet Marquette against UConn in the individual games. That's how we'll play it.